Today on CCX News, a vote impacting students. A Minnesota House Senate Conference Committee votes Tuesday on a bill to get school resource officers back in schools. Legislation approved last year caused police departments to pull their officers out of schools. Lawmakers set out this session to fix that, leading to a bipartisan committee vote Tuesday morning. Their mission: fix differences in bill versions passed by the House and the Senate. On Tuesday, Senator Bonnie Westland of Plymouth called an amendment added to the Senate bill a grievous error.
The entire point of this bill and this entire exercise was to reduce the lack of clarity and not create conflicts. And I would also say that what this literally did is it expanded the use of prone restraints in our schools, not constrict them. A considerable amount of work and effort went into this bill, and I am glad that we are addressing this now.
That Senate bill amendment would have allowed educators to restrain students to prevent them from stealing or damaging school property. In the end, the conference committee approved the House version. Here's what the bill does. It no longer defines school resource officers as an agent of the school. That means SROs can abide by the same rules as police do outside of schools when it comes to using prone restraints. It also requires SROs to undergo standardized training. Republicans on Tuesday called the conference committee vote a hard-fought compromise. Governor Tim Walz says he's confident he'll be able to sign the bill in the coming days. The holy season of Ramadan kicked off over the weekend. Muslims in the Northwest Metro have a newly renovated mosque where they can gather and worship.
This was a dream for some of us, and now we are able to see that dream come true. So it's a great achievement for us in our community.
The Northwest Islamic Community Center in Plymouth recently completed a massive renovation project to provide more worship space. It includes technology upgrades and enough room to fit up to 350 people.
It's been filled every single night. This is also the holy month of Ramadan for us, where Muslims try to come to the mosque every single night. So we're very, very, very blessed to be able to have this place for this month, and we all are feeling it.
Work on the project was completed in February at a cost of about $1 million. What is life like as a mixed martial arts professional fighter? Today we enter the gym to get an up-close look with a man from Brooklyn Center. Mixed martial arts has a growing group of up-and-coming stars. Kevin Miller takes us to one training spot in Brooklyn Center.
In a nondescript Brooklyn Center warehouse,
nice, good move.
Quang Lee is training.
1, 2, 3, 4. Bang, 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 bang.
They call him Quang Bang.
He lulls people in, he moves around a little bit, and out of nowhere, you're going to get that shot. He has a really good heavy shot.
He trains at the Academy, a martial arts gym that has trained champions like Brock Lesnar.
We try to mix in all the combat arts, wherever somebody wants to gravitate to, or all of them.
In fact, the Academy drew Lee to move to Brooklyn Center.
Training, coming in every day and trying to get better, and I have to, you know, if not, they're gonna beat me up. We push each other, you know. I'm proud to be here.
That's awesome.
6 days a week, he's in the gym building good habits and earning respect.
In camp, I'm sore all the time. Like, I'm tired, sore for 8 weeks, you know, in 8-week camp.
He's soft-spoken until the punches get heavy.
Which is very funny because off and outside the cage, he is such a nice, mellow guy. And once he gets in that cage, it's like a switch goes off.
He's won his last 7 professional fights in MMA's top developmental league, the Legacy Fighting Alliance.
Before the fight, coming into the fight, when you walk into the octagon, there's a lot of pressure, nerve. But when the fight is over and you get your hands raised, it's the best feeling.
His next fight is in April.
Wow, yeah.
With more wins, he could move on to the biggest stage.
My dreams is to be in the UFC, and I think I have probably a couple more fights to get there.
Until then, he'll keep grinding it out with his Brooklyn Center martial arts family.
I believe in myself and I go for it.
In Brooklyn Center, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
It's maple syrup season in Minnesota. Families are getting a hands-on opportunity to learn about it at Eastman Nature Center in Maple Grove.
All right, welcome to our sugar bush here at Eastman Nature Center.
It's amazing what nature can create.
In Minnesota, maple syrup season is traditionally in March. This year, the season's a little bit weird. We didn't have much of a winter.
I'm gonna give it a try.
And so the season really started end of January, early February.
On Monday, area homeschool students took to the sugar bush.
You can use a power drill.
Interpretive naturalist Brandon Baker walked them through identifying and understanding the trees that maple syrup comes from.
Maple syruping is about stories. And when families come out here and they are maple syruping with us, they're creating their own stories. And these stories connect them with nature and with place and makes them come to care about these areas.
You ready? You gonna give it a tap tap?
Kids got to help Baker tap a tree and watch it get sappy.
Terrific.
Baker says trying this out hands-on is one way for people to understand the land we live on today.
There's a rich history with maple syruping and sugaring in Minnesota. The Dakota and the Ojibwe have been sugaring in Minnesota for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
So we have these nice metal buckets.
By tapping the trees, kids are tapping into history. And they got to keep it going by collecting the sap in buckets.
Really, this is one of our few programs, I think, where you get to touch things and taste things and smell things, and it's all part of the experience.
Then they got to drop it in a cauldron and boil it down.
You see how it's still kind of clear?
It was a peek at the process, from start
The longer we cook it, the darker, the browner it's gonna get.
to finish,
It's sticky.
with their very own maple sugar taste test.
They're really living Minnesota history when they do maple syruping.
This is just one of a number of events highlighting syrup season. Coming up soon, the Maple Syrup Festival at Eastman on March 23rd.